Welcome to this special class on webinar on target CAT 2017. The fact that you are spending late in the night, even some time with me in front of you, is clearly testimony to the fact that there is some kind of an interest about an MBA, some kind of an interest of your own career as such, and how do you kind of make it very, very interesting. Now let me start off very simply with myself. My name is ARKS, ARKS Srinivas. I'm an engineer in electronics and communication from Usmania University, Hyderabad. Done my MBA from IIM Calcutta. Worked with Maruti Udyog Limited, Maruti Suzuki today as a territory manager before quitting that and joining Time. Time is one of the largest CAT coaching institutes in the country. I guess it continues to be. I was the All India CAT director between 2001 2005. That is when we started really growing in Time. I was also the business director of Time Mumbai between 2005 and 10. Started a business school called Vanguard Business School in 2011, and now the CEO and the co-founder of Systemind Education, which is also into test preparation, typically for CAT, GRE, GMAT, and banking exams. Okay, that's with my very quick introduction. I thought it's a good idea to figure out why you are here, and that's the reason why I think this session probably will be useful. The agenda is going to be very simple. The agenda is, why should one do an MBA in the first place? If you are an engineer, non-engineer, MBBS doctor for that matter, does it really make sense to do an MBA? Is it really all hype, no substance, or there is real substance in it? That's what I'm going to talk about for the first 5-10 minutes. Then we discuss, okay, if we establish this fact that MBA makes sense, you will then decide how CAT, the most coveted exam for getting into the best of the institutes like the IIMs, can be done. We'll understand this CAT exam. Trust me when I'm saying this, there are only two reasons why people don't make it to the IIMs. The first one is they do not know about this CAT exam. So I am going to at least touch that ignorance as far as possible. The second reason, and it's a simple reason, is people don't believe in themselves. In fact, when people look at CAT, they think that, oh, it cannot be that easy. In fact, they would only listen to those people who would either have not attempted it or would have attempted it in a very half-hearted manner and then given up on the exam called CAT. We will understand why probably this is the most easiest exam according to me at least. We'll talk about some of the scores and percentiles. How do you get into an IIM and then other institutes in the country? Then we look at the CAT preparation itself. Is 5 months, 6 months enough? Do you require a year and a half? Do you require 3 months? Do you require 4 years? What is it that really requires? What is it that is there in CAT to make it so difficult? So we'll talk about all the areas in CAT, and then lastly, I'll spend about a few minutes on why Systemind can be a great success partner for you. Who we are, apart from my name and my credentials, I'll also introduce you to my entire team who will be training you online like this on a regular basis, but live, which will ensure that we are there throughout your journey. Okay, so why should one do an MBA in the first place? That's what my first question is going to be. In fact, before even I get into an MBA, I suspect some of you are engineers, some of you are non-engineers. If you are a non-engineer, the kind of a growth that you get, unless you are from St. Stephen's in, let's say, a Delhi, or a St. Xavier's in a Calcutta or a Bombay, or one of the top institutes, which will do you, from where you would have done a BA, BCom, BSc. The growth, forget about the growth, the initial start itself is not going to be any great. If you're an engineer, even from an IIT or an NITs of the world, while the starts may be great, you will see that by the time you reach 30-35 years of age, the growth will start stagnating. In fact, the world over, you will see, forget about just in India, a technology guy is very useful in his prime. When I'm saying in the prime, typically from 16 years of life to maybe 30, 35 years of life. Post that, he almost ceases to, discover anything or invent anything or do anything new, creative in that sense. That's true for the world at large. Forget about just in India. In other words, if you're only an engineer, you will reach a certain position called a project manager's level, etc. kind of things. After that, the growth is going to be extremely slow. Unless you have done a master's in science, MSN, US, etc. kind of things, you will see that your growth will start stagnating. And because there is an artificial ceiling beyond which will not go. There was a time 20 years back, the top guys, the CEOs, the CXOs, the vice presidents, the senior vice presidents were all non-MBAs. But now if you look at it in 2017, and guarantee to you when 2025 comes in or 2030 comes in, there will be almost nobody at the top who is not an MBA. And that makes MBA almost imperative. Whether you do it when you are in the final year of engineering, whether you do it finishing as a fresher, as a 1 year experience guy, or with 5 years experience, you want to take up a 1 year MBA, I think it goes without saying that if your aspiration levels are high, if your ambition is strong, if you don't want to become redundant, MBA as a degree, as a course, as a learning becomes very, very imperative. In fact, these days I see a lot of CAs writing it, lawyers writing it, MBA, even MBBS doctors who don't want to continue with their MD doing their MBA, and that's because MBA does provide such kind of opportunities. Let's quickly, therefore, look at all the other positives about an MBA before we shift to a CAT exam. It is a sector independent thing. You could be an engineer in electronics and you can get into selling soaps. You could be a BCom commerce and you can be consultant to Microsoft for that matter. That is because the 2 years of an MBA helps you learn business fundamentals, and to a large extent the business fundamentals remain same. Domain knowledge is important, of course, but if you have the basic business fundamentals, it is very, very easy to shift careers. Of course, if you have done something for 10 years, shifting from that will not be that easy, but an MBA does. I'll give you an example of a friend of mine who, he and I, both of us are from IIM Calcutta, worked with Maruti Udyog Limited in sales. Today I'm the CEO of an education company. He is a senior director in CRISIL. CRISIL is a credit rating agency which has nothing to do with sales of automobile cars. Again, just a tale of two people. But the fact remains that this is just an example, but the example transcends every IIM or every MBA. And a lot of people have done various other things thanks to that. For example, if you have heard of Chetan Bhagat. Chetan Bhagat was an MBA from IIM Ahmedabad, incidentally my batchmate. He's from Ahmedabad, I'm from IIM Calcutta. He was an investment banker in Singapore, and today he's the most successful public speaker along with being a great writer. Whether he's a good writer or a great writer, let's not bother about it, but he's the most successful writer in India. You have heard of Amish Tripathi. Amish Tripathi is again an MBA. He's a BCom from Bombay University, and then went to an IDBI, International Development Bank of India, and then Industrial Development Bank of India, and then started writing his Shiva trilogy. Today, he is a very successful writer again. Incidentally, Amish is a classmate of mine, that is. We both were from 1997 batch. What I'm trying to explain is, look, the fact that you have an MBA can kind of, even at the age of 40, you can shift careers. You can do wonders to your career depending on what you are interested in. And that's what makes it almost impossible to forget, almost impossible to ignore as a career plan sooner or later. That's what I'm going to help you out with. It's a sector based on personal choice, growth potential, and you can train yourself to be an entrepreneur. It's extremely financially rewarding too. The initial salary is only the one thing, but it's also a fast growing salary. In fact, the CAGR is close to 20%. I'll talk to you about it in a few moments in the next 2 slides. It's a fast track career to a CEO. You can probably, at the very top companies, you can be a CEO by 50. And of course, last but not the least, it has the personal satisfaction. Face challenges, become a decision maker, probably be a leader. There are concerns, of course, a lot of people have about an MBA or doing an MBA. Are not the MBA fees very high? Now it's reached 18 lakhs, 20 lakhs for some of the IIMs. For lots of institutes, it's about 10, 12, of course, the top institutes. But the answer to this question is very simple. The average salaries to start off also are very, very high. And also, more importantly, it's the growth that we talk about, which again, as I said, is it any better, Shubhadeep? Is it any better now? Oh, brilliant. So I've just removed my earphones. That's fine. So MBA fees are, while people think it's high, the return on investment is pretty good because it's one of the best investments you can make. And not just that, the kind of growth that one gets over a period of time is extremely strong. That's what makes it, my bet, a very, very positive career move. Second question that lots of people ask is if work experience is mandatory. My answer to that question is a very categorical no. Simply because 33% of the students from IIM Bangalore are freshers. 23% are from IIM Ahmedabad are freshers. Incidentally, lots of people think that IIM Bangalore has less people with freshers and more people with work experience. But the opposite is true. Just give me a moment, guys. And not only that, the weightage, of course, when it is given to work experience is now only 5% to 10%. Some institutes, of course, give slightly higher percentage, but out of the 100 marks or weightage that is given to selection in most of these institutes, it's just about 5% in almost every institute except, say, a few, which makes it obvious. See, lots of people have this question. Let me answer this question straight away if you have it too. Is it not a good idea, like everybody probably says, that you should do your MBA after 2 years, after 2 years of working? The answer to that question depends on what you do in these 2 years. If you are getting an Amazon job of 14 lakhs, makes sense. But if you're getting a TCS, CTS, Wipro, or a HCL job, absolutely not. Even if it's a core job that you're getting in, let's say, an electrical engineer in a power plant, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense for a simple reason. Yes, Rahul, yeah. But it's a simple reason is, if you want to be an MBA, the next 35 years of your life will not probably reflect what you have done for the first 25, 22. It will help you to understand the business a little better. There is zero doubt about it. More importantly, you will be more mature when you work 2 years. You know the kind of expectations one has when you just graduate? That will not be there, of course. But what will definitely be there is the value even when you finish just graduation and take up an MBA. And that's the reason why I don't think you should worry about a work experience. Yeah, if you don't get into the best institution the first time when you write it, then by all means take up the job and seriously try it out again. But that it is mandatory or that it is required is a myth completely. So don't worry about that. And of course, many schools don't even give weightage. Other concerns like what are your chances? If you are an engineer, non-engineer, doesn't matter, guys. Please realize there are now 20 IIMs. So the chances that you think you can get through are really, really strong. A lot of people don't even seriously attempt. I am talking about those people who are attempting seriously. And if you attempt it seriously, not just go there and write it, you don't respect the exam will not respect you. The reason why I'm saying it is easy is because of two reasons. One, there are 20 IIMs, number of seats have increased in all IIMs and other institutes, and the number of CAT takers have come down. In other words, your chance of getting has definitely increased. And of course, not just the 20 IIMs, there are 40 other schools or 20 other schools which will have 100% placement. In fact, they have been having 100% placement for a long, long time. and that's what makes it very, very interesting. If by any chance you are a non-engineer, please realize that you are in a better position. There is no bias against non-engineers. In fact, there is a value attached if you are a non-engineer. In fact, there are extra marks for diversity these days. If you are a girl, Kavya, you are still there. Very, very clearly, if you are a girl, you automatically get extra marks, 5 marks extra out of the 100 for just being a girl. If you are a non-MBA, non-engineer, you will get 2 to 4 marks, 2 to 5 marks. If you are a BA psychology or a BA in English, it's like Sonapya, Sohaga types. It's the best. While I'm not saying you can now change it if you're not, but all I'm trying to say is that if you're a non-engineer, it doesn't matter. You have much better chance. If you're an engineer, well, you'll have to fight it out. Even if you're an MTech, Subhadeep, that's a good question you asked me. Even if you're an MTech, please realize that in an MTech from India, unless you're from IIT Bombay or IIT Kanpur or IIT Kharagpur, the value, Subhadeep, of a non-MBA, even for an MTech, will stop after a point of time. Unlike if you are in the US, of course, it's a different issue. So therefore, in fact, you will find that a lot of MTechs, MCAs also taking up MBA. So I don't see any question. There is no reason why you should not even look at an MBA, because please understand, you may think, this is one thing you need to understand this. You may think that, yaar, I'm already 27, what is the point? But think the reverse. Once you are going to work till 60 probably, that's about another 33, 32 years to go, 34 years to go. 2 years of an MBA or 1 year of an MBA, depending on what you want to take up, will change your life for 30. Remember, we are in 2017. Can you imagine what will be 2047, 2050? And that is what you need to be prepared for. And there's one area which is going to keep you in good stead is an MBA. Whether you like it to do it today or tomorrow, you'll have to do it. That is what I'm saying. How do people select you? How do IIM select you? They have a formula on their own. They have the key parameters called the CAT score, interview, and a written essay. Typically, these are the 3 levels. There are 5 areas on which they are marks given: academics, work experience. These 2 you can't change anything. You live with it. But CAT score you can change, your interview you can do well, and your written analysis test, the written essay can be done well. And that is what makes your chance of getting into an IIM much, much better, whatever may be the sins of your past. And of course, diversity is obviously necessary. So I told you there are 5 reasons why somebody takes up or the IIM select: academic profile, work experience, which is already there or not there. The rest of the 3 are clearly what you have chance to work on. The key exams to write these exams for the getting into a top institutes are, of course, CAT. CAT is the common admission test to the IIMs, the IITs, the SPJs, the MDIs, the FMSs, the NITIs of the world. There is an exam called ZAT, the Xavier Admission Test. Not just XLRI, but XIM Bhubaneswar, GIM, LIBA, IFMR, a lot of others take these courses, the Xavier admissions course. SNAP, the Symbiosis National Aptitude Test for all Symbiosis institutes. There are 13 of them, if I'm not wrong. Then there are individual institutes like IIFT, NMAT, Narsi Monji Institute, TISS, Tata Institute of Social Sciences, IRMA or MICA, which are again very, very strong institutes. This is something which I want you to look at. Forget about if you are a non-MBA. MBA from an IIM, doesn't matter if you're a BTech from an IIT or not. This is absolute numbers which are authenticated, friends. If you were a person who graduated in 2000 and the average salary from an MBA, doesn't matter if you're a BA, BCom, BSc from any college, the average salary was 4 lakhs. If you were missing your IITs or NITs, if you are from a BTech from NITs, the average was 2.5. Not very far, not very difficult. But look at what happens in 2016 for the same set of guys. For the same set of guys, the growth for them is a phenomenal 20%, whereas it's just about 15%, and therefore the people who have graduated from a BTech, from an IIT, NIT, most of them are in the 25 to 30 lakh range, whereas here you're talking about 75 to 1 crore range, or even more for that matter. And that's the reality. And that's what makes it almost a compelling reason why you should do a CAT exam. These are the originals. I told you, money is not important simply because the average salaries at these places, the lowest salary will be 12 lakhs, the highest will be of course 30 lakhs. This year I am Calcutta, the highest was something like 70 lakhs domestic salary. Same thing in Ahmedabad, approximately same thing in Bangalore, 70 lakhs domestic salary. Of course, one odd guy gets it, but the worst guy also gets about 10 plus. Worst guy gets 10 plus. Please understand, you're starting at 10 plus, the growth will be faster, and that is what makes it all the more reason why you should look at it. Now let's come to CAT as an exam. If my idea was, once I have established the fact you guys want to do an MBA, it is then with that kind of an interest level that you will take it up. That is what makes it all more interesting. That's what knowing about CAT will become a little more, enthusiastic if you know that. If those of you have written CAT already, you know this, but those of you have not written CAT, I think these numbers are going to be mind blowing. It's a kind of opening of your mind kind of things. The CAT paper is made of 3 sections, at least the last 2 years, last 5 years actually. Quantitative section, the data interpretation and logical reasoning section, and the verbal ability and reading comprehension section. The quant section is of your 8th, 9th and 10th arithmetic, algebra, numbers and geometry mensuration. Data interpretation, logical reasoning, the histograms, the pie charts, the bar charts, nobody has done that. You have to, in fact, there is very, very little theory in it, or logical reasoning for that, a lot of logical puzzles. Verbal ability, reading comprehension. You need to be decent in your vocabulary and grammar. If you have not studied that, well, there is no, 200 days is more than sufficient to be very, very good at anything for that matter. And that's what makes it extremely easy that you can be number 1. This is the last. There are 100 questions which are given in the CAT paper. 100 questions with 300 marks. So it is important to figure out that when people select, the IIM select, they select with the help of a percentile. You need to be in the very high percentile, 97, 98, 99 percentile to get it. But 99 percentile, to get 99 percentile out of 300 marks, is it 270 marks, 280 marks, or is it much less? And that, I think, is what makes it different. Let's just look at quickly what's the percentile. The percentage of people who are below you. So for example, if 1 lakh people write the exam, and you are 100th rank or first rank, your percentile will be 99.999. If your rank is 1000, remember this 1000 is 2 zeros or it is 1%. If your rank is 1000, you're in the top 1%, which means your percentile will be 99. Of course, 90 percentile will be when you are obviously 10,000th rank. Now just understand that if there are 2 lakh people writing the exam, to get into the top 90 and you get in the top 40 colleges, you need only 90 percentile. 90 percentile is 20,000th rank out of 2 lakh people who write the CAT exam. Now I'm not saying you should settle for that. I'm just giving you how easy it is. Among 4,000 B schools, to get into the top 40 B schools, that's 1%, you need a 90 percentile plus. Let's look at the interesting question. This is more important. CAT 2016, what are the scores that are required? I told you to get 90 percentile, your score required out of 300 in CAT 16 was just 108. That's 36%. 36%, guys, is your pass mark in every exam you have written. And you will get into the top 40 colleges in the country. At 95 plus 123, you'll get into all the new IIMs. That's out of 300, you're talking about 41%. And at 51% marks, you will get into the top IIMs, top institutes, except probably ANC. and A and C will come to you at 168, which is 56%. At 56-60% marks out of 300, you are getting into the IIMs of the world. If you are a general category student, if you are a OBC student, at 90 percentile you get into an IIM. If you are an SC student, scheduled caste student, at 84 out of 300, that's 28%, you are going to make it to the IIMs. And that's a beautiful chance. Of course, if you're ST, it will be something like 70%. That's what makes it all the more reason why you should put in every if you have that also. Banerjee, you can't do that. Unfortunately, you are a general category student. I'm not saying others are better or this, but looking at the names, unfortunately, we'll have to look at it. But positively, yes, the fight is on because it's not that difficult. Right? Any questions, guys? Of course, as I keep saying, you can always send a chat window kind of things on my chat. Let's look at the nature of the exam. If this is the CAT, why is it difficult? Why do people find it difficult? The reason why I find it difficult is it's a skill, not a memory exam. It's not a degree exam, engineering exam, where you remember the last night and forget it. If I ask you what you have done, you will forget what is there. You will easily forget what is it that you have done, kind of thing. IIM, yes. IIM Ahmedabad, Bangalore, or Calcutta, Shubhadeep. A new IIM will get you at 95%, 94-95%. And the reputed institutes like MDI, NITI, IMT Ghaziabad, IMI, all of these guys come at 90+%. Good ones. Like table tennis or badminton or anything that you want to improve your skill, or a guitar, you need to keep, or a dance or a singing, you need to keep doing the same thing again and again and again. And that is what makes you better. You need to do a lot of practice. The practice, before you start the practice, you need to have basic fundamentals. You need to go back to your basics. You need to go back to your basics and say, hey boss, I have forgotten what is distance is equal to speed by time or speed into time times. You need to go back and figure it out correctly. Then take that and do a lot of practice. You should have also a very balanced. Somebody is good in quantitative ability, but bad in English. You need to spend time in English. Similarly, somebody is very good in English, but can't do data interpretation. Unless you do a lot of data interpretation, you will be bad. And that's what makes it very important. It requires a smart approach. It doesn't require it requires an approach which will ensure that you don't waste time. Obviously, you need to take a lot of mocks, take a lot of feedback, adapt yourself to that. And I strongly believe, and that's what we come in, is the kind of guidance that is required to get there. Everybody, whether it's a Roger Federer or a Sachin Tendulkar or a Virat Kohli, every one of us needs some guidance or the other, the right kind of a mentor. And that's what we, as Vista Mind, try to provide. Of course, a bit of luck. Now, here is where a couple of things that I reasoned out on. Why do you need to prepare for CAT? And does coaching ever help? Lots of people say, sir, without coaching, I can write it. Absolutely, you can write it. There is zero doubt about it. But please understand, a coaching will help you to get a structure and discipline. Self-motivation is not an easy concept. You can get self-motivated, but it keeps going up and down. So that getting the structure right, getting the discipline right is where coaching helps. Somebody will give you the direction, the guidance, and of course the advisory. Last but not the least, you will need where to study from. Of course you can study. It's 8th, 9th and 10th class study. Nothing great about it. But in a nutshell, somebody gives you, boss, study this much. Not study this much. Study what is relevant. And that's what is the right kind of a coaching that you should try to go through. Here is where you can go through a classroom or online, and here is where I am saying why you should come to VistaMind, why you should come to an online training. It's not that classroom does not have great bad faculty, but they do not always have consistently good faculty. Whereas here we have just about the best faculty, because only the best you don't need 100 people, because you are catering to people in Jammu to Kanyakumari to Agartala to probably Rajkot. Doesn't matter, wherever you are, we kind of are there. You need just a connection, and that is what makes it. And timings probably may or may not be convenient. Here timings are at 9:30 in the night, or early morning at 6 o'clock in the morning, or on Saturdays and Sundays, but sitting at home and living it live. That's what makes it good. And we also have exclusive batches for the top tier institutes, so that the best of the students, right now I have more than 60 students of the IITs and NITs who are training with me. You will be involved with some of these guys when larger class happen, and that where your competition will start becoming much more interesting. Every class is live, and those classes, it's not just recorded. See, if I give you recorded videos and lots of material, you'll keep it, and you do puja for that. The idea here is not just recorded classes. Every live class is taken and that is recorded, so that you can go back to that position or the place or the concept which you don't know. And that's what makes us better. As simple as that. What do you need to do for target preparation? First and foremost, of course, we bring it to the doorstep, as we call it, or the mobiles and the laptops. But what you need to do is 3 levels. First, as a chess, it's an opening game. You need to be good at your basics and exercises. We take you through every part of basics and exercises, so that you don't leave any stone unturned. Then, once you understand the basics and apply, you need to understand how to get the marks. And that's where smaller tests like topic tests, section tests, strategies are given for the same. But that's not enough, because it needs to go back to a full length exam. And that's where the end games comes in, wherein we spend a lot of time on the full length marks. Individual analysis. Where are you getting marks? Where are you missing marks? Where should you do? How do you should change your strategy? This is something which is done on a one-on-one basis. Therefore, it's a huge amount of personal mentoring that we can get. Because that's online, because you can be anywhere in the world. You don't have to wait for us. And we have a team which can do that. And of course, post-CAT, we do a lot of GD and interview and VAT preparation online. GD is the only thing which you don't do, but this time we have done SPJ and group interviews. It was a fantastic hit. In fact, friends, in the world, in the corporate world now, more and more is done straight up online and video conferencing, and that's what makes it ready. That's what we make you ready for it, in that sense of the word. And of course, once again, to get you the right kind of training, you need the right kind of people, and that's what we are to give you. What is the syllabus for CAT? There is an arithmetic, algebra, numbers, geometry, pure maths. You need to go through each chapter, each topic, within topic, each concept, and each concept do a lot of questions in that. Data interpretation, what is there? There is a chart. In each chart, there are types of questions, and there are a lot of exercises given to you, so that you get familiar with these things. So there are tables, the bar charts, the pie charts, the line graphs, the spider graphs, the triangle graphs, and a lot of miscellaneous others, and a combination of graphs. In addition, there are games and tournaments, which are again given in the exam. For English, it is very simple. You need to be good in grammar, your vocabulary, and reading comprehension, which will also make you good in verbal reasoning. The actual questions come in CAT are para-jumbles. A jumbled paragraph is given. You need to unjumble it and make it unjumbled. Para-completion, a paragraph is given and the last line is left out. You need to complete the paragraph, or things like critical reasoning, etc. are given. And last but not the least, you're talking about reasoning. You talk about puzzles, Venn diagrams, cubes, and various types of questions which kind of read or reach out to their logical thinking in that sense. Why should you look at VistaMind? The VistaMind idea is a very simple idea. We are the first and only online live CAT training. There are others, of course, which do 30 classes, 20 classes, 50 classes, doubt clearing classes, etc. But we are the only guys in the country, the first and the only guys who do the entire CAT program online live. taken by the best faculty, every class recorded, every smart CAT prepared by the best trainers, and therefore you will be getting benchmarked with the best too. Each, not all of them, 50% of the mocks are discussed by the directors. In fact, yours truly. Those of you who have missed out my name is ARKS Srinivas. I'm an engineer. I'm an MBA from IIM Calcutta. For the last 17 years, I've been training students for CAT and I've sent hundreds and thousands of students, actually thousands of students. You will be given individual strategy as a group as well as individual strategy so that you have to get in yourself. Tons of online sectional tests. And of course, the most important thing that Mr. Mind gives you is mentorship at every step. Every month we'll plan what is the plan for the next one, what is the plan for the next 6 months, what is the plan for the next 3 months, and making sure that you're not missing out on that. And that's what makes us very, very approachable too. This is my team, friends, All India Online team. My name is ARKS, as I said. I'm from IIM Calcutta. Nishant is my colleague from IIM, co-director. Rahul Reddy is a co-director from IIM Calcutta, again batchmate. Nishant is an IIM co 2001 pass out. Ranganath sir has been phenomenal in teaching for the last 25 plus years. In fact, he is a 65-year-old gentleman, but you attend one class of his, you will never miss out. Similar is Madhuri, who has been teaching for the last 19 years. Again, very patient in the way she teaches, even if you are not so strong in quant. Sunita, Geeta, Sapna take care of logic and English, along with, of course, Rahul. And Ankuran is an IIM Bangalore graduate who has been training for the last 12 years with us in that sense. Mind is only 5 years, but we have been with time, all of us, and we have trained students for more than 17 years now, most of us. What are the kind of programs that we have? We have CAT program, GRE program, and the GMAT program, but typically our flagship program is the CAT. We have an online full-time program. We also have smart CAT and workshops too, if one has wants to go through. But again, I honestly believe this is something which you should take it up. In fact, our fee, just to give you an idea about our online full-time program, Vasavi, or anybody, any competitors program, everything that you get in an offline classroom training, you get here. Except that you will be sitting at home, saving time, learning at the time of your convenience. Whereas instead of paying 30,000 to 50,000, depending on which city you stay in for a classroom program, we do this at just 16,950 rupees. Just 16,950 rupees. And that's what makes us, almost compelling reason to join, because it is almost nothing compared to what we give you in that sense of the word. I want you to just go through this. It just might be an interesting thing. These are my contacts, guys. My name is ARKS. My online head is A. Srinivas. He's also Srinivas, like me. And Leena, there are a lot of people who are calling us, a lot of people kind of things. But these are the numbers. Make sure that 7 months is a long time to prepare for CAT if you're looking at CAT17. Shubhadeep, for example, if you're a MTech, makes sense to write. I have people from ID Bhubaneswar who are joining, who are doing their MTech also, kind of things. Then, even if just in case you're thinking of CAT18, it makes sense we have special programs for various other institutes. If you're an IITN or an IITN, please get in touch with us. We will also help you to put you into various kinds of batches which is relevant. If you are with work experience, we put you into kind of a group which will kind of be very similar to you. Therefore, you will, if you are a fresher, it makes sense too. I think that is what makes us, I think, and because it is across the country, not in your city or in your state or in your, place, the way we can connect you to the rest of the world makes it extremely, extremely interesting. Okay? And any questions that you have, please shoot. I'll be very, very happy to answer to. Ayush, Kavya, Rahul, Subhadeep, Vikram, if you are there, if there's any question they can answer, I think we will be very, very happy to answer this. But again, you will see that this is the kind of an investment which you make will probably the best investment that you've made. And my name is, I've said once again, just to very, very quickly introduce you to myself. My name is ARKS. I'll probably show you the slide itself to give you an idea. My name is ARKS Srinivas. I'm an engineer, an MBA from IIM Calcutta. Worked with Maruti, All India CAT Course Director at Time Hyderabad, Director at Time Mumbai, co-founder of Vanguard, of course, now the CEO of Vistamind. Shubhadeep is asking, do we have a exclusive program for mocks only? Yes, we obviously have, Shubhadeep. But again, let me tell you one thing while I understand. Where are you, which city are you based out of, if I can ask? Durgapur. Here is what my simple idea is. If you are from Durgapur, you are joined in time, great. May I just tell you, attend 1 or 2 classes of ours free of cost. I'm not even asking you to pay up before attending these. Check it out for yourself. And if you've already paid in time, we'll talk to you, look at what is relevant for you and give you what you want. Okay? Are you from NIT Durgapur by any chance? Oh, you're working in Durgapur. Okay. You're working in Durgapur. So that's what I'm saying. You just get in touch with me. My number is there, or my actually colleague A. Srinivas. Tomorrow morning you can call him up, and he will give you a solution for that. Yes, of course we'll give you mocks. But let me also tell you, Time also gives you All India mocks. Okay, and they're very good. Just for information. I mean, I have been with Time for so long that I would definitely say that All India mock cats, the AIM cats that have Time are extremely good. So there is no reason why you should look at only mocks with Vistamind in that sense of the word. If you are already working with Time, I would say please write them. There's no point in writing 40 mocks. That much I can guarantee you. Don't waste your money with either Career Launcher, IMS, or Vistamind if you're already attending Time mocks. Having said this, where we will help you is not that you're getting your coaching, but that kind of a mentorship from the very top. I have nothing against any other institute in the country, but I think our ability to reach out to individuals is very, very strong. And the group, as you can see, that I've showed you, I think you will get authentic information, fast information, and probably individual attention information and individual attention. And that's what I think you need to look at. Now, whether you want to take up, maybe it is not going to be smart cats or the mocks that you should join. You should probably join for the workshops alone, which will again be a very, very good idea to do that. We'll discuss that. I think just एक बार बात कर लो, phone कर दो. I think we'll be very happy to help you on that. Most welcome. Most welcome. Right? Any other questions? Rahul, we will get in touch with you also. Kavya and Ayush, if you are there, if you have any questions, I'll be very happy to answer. If there are any objections to your looking at us, if you feel that there are certain things that you will need, more comfort zone to make it, saying that yes, it makes sense, you can talk to any of our students. I had more than 500 students who have gone through my CAT program. You can talk to any of the 20, 30 of them. We'll put it up on our website. There are a lot of people who have kind of given us extremely raving reviews. And I think that is where the confidence comes in, that we are here to change the way we train students. Right? So that's it from us, my friends. If you don't have any questions, I think I will take leave from you. We will have my colleagues, Srinivas or Leena, will get in touch with you tomorrow. If you have any objections, either mail us, call us, take your time. We are here to help you to get to the dreams, to the dream IIM that you want to get into. Okay? Thank you so much. Good night.